thought to make a start. So, yeah, we've been doing this series on unlimited heart, and as probably most of you know, this is connected with a course that we've been running on Saturdays about the Metta Bhavana, and this evening sort of fits in with that course. So yeah, the Metta Bhavana, the cultivation of loving kindness, that's what we're focusing on this evening. However, we're going to be bringing in an angle to do with breathing. I've titled tonight, Breathing with Love. Yeah, because in the course we've been really emphasising noticing in the Metta Bhavana how we're actually feeling, like as we bring people to mind, and especially how we're feeling in the body. And if you've meditated before, you'll realise that awareness of the body has a grounding quality. So valuable, essential, I would say, in meditation. And in the Metta Bhavana, we can adopt an approach that's imaginative. We need to use the imagination in some way in Metta Bhavana, because we're trying to connect with others. But the danger with getting too imaginative is we can get carried away. Our mind get carried away. So having an element of bodily awareness is really valuable, and that's the first reason, not the only reason, as you'll find out, but the first reason why we're bringing in the breath this evening. I did mention before this series started that we were going to be doing some sessions on the mindfulness of breathing in this series, but I'm afraid it hasn't turned out that way, I don't think. This will come close-ish. I'm going to be doing some little exercises during this first part of our class. So little meditative exercise, just a couple of minutes each. You won't need necessarily to be in meditation posture for those, but just to let you know. And we'll be exploring some different approaches to using the breath in the Metta Bhavana. There are a number of different approaches to that. So in fact, let's start immediately with a little sort of meditation exercise, which will take 2 or 3 minutes. So, as I say, you don't necessarily need to be in meditation posture as such, but being comfortable, being upright, maybe closing your eyes, and starting to tune into the body. So just letting your awareness settle a bit in the body, in the legs. Taking in the arms and hands, face, the gut, and particularly the chest. So becoming aware of the heart center, the center of the chest, which is often a seat for our emotions, even if there's just a bit of tightness or numbness. So bringing awareness to that. And at the same time, becoming aware of the breath, some of the sensations of breathing, especially perhaps around the chest. So just notice the in and out breath a bit. And particularly the out breath, and that quality of just relaxing as the out breath goes. Breathing in and then letting go on the out breath, just breathing naturally. A sense of letting go or relaxing on the out breath. And you can even imagine the breath is flowing through the body, not just out the nose, but through the body as you breathe out, as you let go with the breath. Now just have a sense that this breath, this out breath, is a kindly breath, a loving breath. Just imagining that's the case. There's a kindly breath, this out breath, and it brings well-being throughout, not just to your body, but to your feelings, your mind as well. A loving breath. And bringing that little meditation to an end. I don't know about you, but I'm used to doing that, but I do feel a sense of ease and something of a loving quality there in doing that. Don't be concerned if you don't connect with it, but we'll be doing more of that later. You can do something similar with the in-breath. We're going to be focusing on the out-breath tonight, but if it seems more natural to you to use the in-breath as a kindly breath, you can do that. And of course you can also bring the same quality of kindness to your mindfulness of breathing practice if you find that a helpful thing to do, a way of engaging your feelings with the mindfulness of breathing. So, the Metta Bhavana, of course, there is the first stage, and we can do what we've just done. We will be in the first stage. But then, of course, we bring to mind other people. And we're seeking to cultivate metta, loving kindness, which comes basically from a sense of empathy, a sense of connection with that other person. So we have to kind of, in the Metta Bhavana, we have to kind of imagine in some way them, we have to kind of bring them to life a bit for us. And as I mentioned earlier, that can get a bit sort of fanciful, we can get complex, we can get caught up in it. So it can be very good to connect with them at just the level of simple, common humanity. They have a body, a living, a breathing. So just making that as the basis for our connection with another person. Incredibly simple, but there's a lot that can open the door to much more of a sense of connection, just that simple fact of connecting with this person, their body breathing. So we'll do another little exercise, maybe a bit shorter, and for this, choose a friend, and I do advise you to choose a friend, someone with whom you have a straightforward, friendly relationship. And you can either, in this little exercise, bring them to where you are in your imagination, or you could choose some very simple setting like a park bench or something like that, something that won't be complicated for you. So again, just closing your eyes and tuning in again to the body. Again, connecting especially with the area in the guts and the chest. And the heart center. Just notice how the heart center feels right now. And see if you can keep some awareness with that. Again, there's the breathing, the natural breathing. And again, a sense of the out breath as a kindly breath. And now, keeping some awareness of the body, we bring to mind our friend. Maybe there they are before us. And notice how that feels. And just imagine that their breath is in sync with ours. As we breathe in and out, they're also breathing in and out. And their out breath too is a kindly breath, a loving breath, bringing them well-being. Okay. So this approach to the Metta Bhavana that we're doing tonight, it's, as far as I can remember, for me it originates in something I heard which comes from an order member called Paramananda, who does a lot of meditation retreats and leads a lot of meditation retreats. And this phrase, I actually heard indirectly, but it came from him, is your breath, their breath, kindly breath. It was actually recommended to a friend of mine who was struggling as a way of something you can do if you struggle with the Metta Bhavana. Your breath, their breath, a kindly breath. So we were connecting with something of that perhaps in that last little meditation. However, we can make that, we're looking to connect with them in a sense to identify with them, our friend here, as a person. Yeah, somebody who wants to be happy. And we can make that identification with them more immediate. So sometimes this is such a simple thing, but it can be quite mind-blowing when we really connect with it. They exist from their side. They're not some complex humanoid shape out there. They exist from their side as we do from our side. So we can try and put ourselves in their shoes. Almost, but not quite, almost literally. I wouldn't get into imagining shoes. That's going to be a bit too distracting, probably. But what I'm going to invite you to do is to see if you can connect with them as embodied, as it were, bringing your imagination into their skin, if you like. Again, not making it too complicated. We don't have to imagine their body shape even, but simply the fact that they are experiencing the breath, as it were, from the inside. So just the minimum detail that you need to connect with that, not getting into what they're wearing or anything like that. So, another exercise, and you could use the same friend unless you want to choose somebody else. Again, settling in the body. Again, bringing your awareness particularly to the heart center and to your breathing, however it comes right now. And again, a sense that the out breath is a kindly breath. And staying aware, staying with your physical experience, you bring to mind the friend. You can see them in front of you. And now I invite you to imagine that the breath that you're experiencing is their breath. This kindly breath that you're experiencing is their breath. And on the out breath, it is filling their body with well-being. A loving breath. Okay. So, obviously I have no idea how you found that, probably all sorts of experiences. We'll have an opportunity to share that later this evening. But we're going to do a bit more of that soon. I find that a very effective way of connecting with another person and wishing them well. And it keeps me grounded in my physical experience and connecting with them in an incredibly simple but effective way. That doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone. Some people may I've heard it said that a couple of people said some months ago to me that they found it a bit intrusive. But I don't think we're not really intruding upon the other person at all. We're just connecting with them in a very simple way. We're just bringing our imagination to them as a living, breathing human being. So what we're going to do in a moment is a full Metta Bhavana practice. And we're going to do it in the way that we've just done, or I'm going to invite you to do it in the way that we've just done. If at any point you need to, you can come back simply to kindly breath for yourself. And if you find identifying with them at this physical level a bit too intimate, a bit too intense, you can always go back to doing it the other way we did it, where they're sort of external. But I'm going to lead it in the way that we've just done it. Of course, when we get to the fifth stage of the practice, we'll need to change tack a bit, but I'll lead us through that. And we always suggest this, but particularly maybe doing it this way, don't choose your worst enemy for the fourth stage. Yeah. Okay, but you might want to choose who we're going to bring in now, or if you prefer, you could see who pops up when you get there. But now settling for a longer period of meditation. So, again, we bring attention into the body, and we're going to give it more time now. So feeling our weight on our seat, contact with the ground supporting us. Bringing awareness into the feet, inhabiting the feet. Just noticing something of how they are right now. The ankles, the calves, the knees, bringing a sense of space to the knees. The thighs. Noticing something of the experience in the thighs. Relaxing. Bringing awareness into the buttocks. Gentle pressure of sitting. The groin. The hips. And then the back. Nice and naturally straight. Noticing any sensations in the back. Touch of your clothes, perhaps. The back of the neck. Nice and long. And then the head, face. Taking in how the face feels. Letting go of tension. The shoulders. Seeing if it's possible to let go there. And bringing awareness down the arms into the hands. Experiencing something of the hands from the inside. Bringing attention to the gut. Noticing how that feels. Maybe allowing it to drop down if it will. And then the chest. Particularly the heart center. And tuning into the breathing. So the breath coming and going naturally. And picking up on whatever's going on in the heart center. having a sense of your mood. Moving now into the first stage of the Metta Bhavana. So the breath, maybe the out breath, as a kindly breath. The out breath moving through the body, just having a sense of or imagining that, and bringing well-being. Even a loving breath. And if you need more to connect or start spark off metta, you can always drop in a phrase on some of the out breaths. Sticking just with the breath if that's enough. And any other reactions or distractions that are arising, you can include in the kindly out breath, bringing a tenderness, a kindness to those. Staying in the body with the breath, some awareness of the heart center. We bring to mind a friend. We could see them before us, we're with them. Just getting a sense of them in any way, keeping it simple. And then, changing our orientation, we can imagine the breath we're experiencing is also their breath. The kindly breath is also their breath. It's bringing love, well-wishing to them, throughout them. So this friend of yours is being nourished by a kindly, loving breath. The heart center, your heart center may respond more to that. Staying aware of the body, heart center. Bring to mind a neutral person. So letting our friend go, we bring to mind a neutral person. Seeing them or having a sense of them, maybe before us. This living, breathing human being. Yes, they are breathing. So again, letting our breath be imagined as their breath. The out breath as a kind, nurturing breath, bringing wellness at every level. Not needing to think about what that means, just having a sense that it's bringing deep wellness. keeping a kind attitude to anything else that is going on for us. The mind is wandering, coming gently back to the body and the heart center and the breath. Keeping our awareness, some of our awareness with the breath and with the heart center, letting go of the neutral person. Bring to mind someone with whom there's some difficulty. Just having a sense of this person. This person who has a body, who is living, breathing. And again, we can imagine that the breath that we experience is also their breath. Bringing wellness to them, irrespective of any difficulty. One human being experiencing a kindly breath. This person is wanting to be well and happy. This kindly breath is bringing them well-being. So, now all four people are gathered together. All four people experiencing a kindly breath. No exception. And now, keeping awareness of our own kindly breath, whatever sense of love or well-wishing we feel, we bring to mind others. Just have a sense of that kindness expanding. And if we wish, we can connect with the breath of particular individuals. So maybe having a sense of kindness expanding to include everyone meditating together right now. May our breath fill each of us with well-being. And in any way, extending, expanding outwards, whatever kindness, well-wishing we feel. And now letting go of any effort, just being with how we are, whatever that is, and enjoying any fruits of this meditation. Okay, so no doubt we've all had a different experience of that meditation. And we've got a little under 10 minutes available now for any questions or comments. I'd be interested to know what that was like for you. If you were able to connect with the breath as kindly, did that help you connect with others? Did it help with distraction, maybe? But anything that you want to share or to ask to do with that practice. Liz can help by reading out any questions or comments in the chat. There are many different ways of doing the Metta Bhavana practice, aren't there? Many different approaches. Some people, phrases are very helpful, others or images, and here's a more bodily based approach.
found that really helpful, Samudraghosha. I really appreciated that. I loved the quote, "Your breath, their breath, kindly breath." That's really beautiful.
It's very simple, isn't it? But
yeah, no, but it really something resonated in that, and it meant that I think I connected a bit more imaginatively with other people, especially actually the what's it? I forgot what you call them. The people we don't know very well. The people we don't know very well.
yeah.
That it was just really easy to imagine, strangers out there, but who I could really connect with. So that was really lovely.
Oh, thanks for sharing that, Liz. Yeah, I mean, it can be good to get to imagine details of people's lives and so on if we don't get too carried away with it, which can be easy to do. But actually, to connect with another person, don't actually need to bring that much to mind. It can be something very, very simple.
Got a couple of comments coming in. So Tor says, that helped me a lot because I'm so used to meditations on the breath. So thanks a lot.
Welcome, Tor. Thank you for sharing that.
And Selena says, thank you for tonight. It's nice to mix up the practice a bit as I've been stuck in a rut. I did find tonight I found it harder to focus on one person for too long.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I'm curious to know. I mean, you don't have to say more, of course, but yeah, curious to know why that might have been. It is a very intimate thing, isn't it? Sort of bringing to mind someone at that level. Thanks for sharing that. And as I mentioned, is it something else, Liz?
Yeah. So John says, thank you for tonight. Do you have a suggestion for something to use as a cue for noticing you've gone beyond the realms of helpful imagination and into mind wandering?
Interesting question. Well, I guess if you're using this particular, well, I would say generally losing touch with the body, as it were. Trouble is when the mind's wandering. When the mind's wandering, one's kind of lost, as it were, which is why the body awareness at the beginning of the meditation is so important, because it does mean you're more likely to notice something and or notice that you've lost that something, that sort of groundedness, as it were. Hopefully using the breath in the meditation can be more helpful in that you've got more of the body in your awareness and might be more likely to notice it, that the mind's gone off on one. But in terms of the actual imaginative identification, I would say, well, see if you can have the intention to keep it incredibly simple. What it is that you're connecting with, what you bring into mind when you bring someone to mind. Yeah. Just making the connection a bit more with the mindfulness of breathing. I did mention earlier you can, of course, bring metta into the mindfulness of breathing, whether in that way or another way, and in a way that element of bringing kindness to whatever's going on is, I think, a really important attitude to have, whatever meditation practice you're doing. So if you're doing the mindfulness of breathing and you'll notice you're, feeling anxious or something like that, maybe down in the belly, well, you can bring in that kindly breath there, just sort of, rather than sort of feeling that you've got to get rid of it, or it shouldn't be there, as it were. That can be a way of sort of being okay with the fact that there's anxiety or you got distracted, whatever it is. So the two practices do cross over if you're not doing them in exactly this way.
Lisa's just made a comment, and she says, I found connecting with kindly breath more connecting and easier to stay with than using the phrases, may you be well, may you be happy, which feels formulaic. And she says she loses connection with herself and others.
Yeah. The phrases are a really good way in when you first learn the practice, but they don't necessarily help one. They don't work for everybody. Thanks, Lisa. Okay, well, at this point, we've got an announcement or two to make, and I'm going to pass these over to Arta Siddhi.
So, hello there. Great. Hope you all enjoyed meditation night tonight. Thanks again to Samudraghosha for leading us. No doubt you've experienced the benefits of turning up. So just to talk a little bit about meditation night. And what we're trying to do with meditation night. We're sort of trying to create community. You could see meditation night, mistakenly see meditation night as a sort of service, a sort of meditation service or something, but we don't, and therefore we don't want to charge for it. Instead, meditation night is more sort of participative. We sort of co-create meditation night. You co-create meditation night. It's like a sort of community in process of coming into being. And in Buddhism, generosity is at the heart of what community really means. And that's why we do these classes, we give them freely, and we don't want anything in return. We do that, of course, because we've experienced the benefits of meditation. We just want to sort of share that with as many people as possible. But also we do it because there's something a bit magic about generosity. Generosity sort of is quite profound. It sort of invites something into being, invites community into being. What we've learned through experience is that you can't get very far in meditation without community. Somehow community supports meditation, and meditation supports community, or a sort of culture of generosity. So that's why I want to mention the upcoming rainy season retreat. Now, I don't know if you've been on retreat before or not, but it's a great opportunity to experience this sort of augmentative kind of combination of practices, being in community. You get a flavour of it at meditation night, but on this retreat over the Easter weekend, you've got 4 full days where you're sort of immersed in a community, a meditation community, and meditating regularly. There'll also be bits of input on Buddhism about consciousness, exploring what is consciousness. But you get this experience, this augmentative experience of community and meditation, and you get to see where that leads. And that's really, really important for meditation, to start to see where it can lead. So if you're interested in that, if you'd like to sort of try that out, then Liz will put the link on the website. She's giving me the thumbs up on the screen down here, so she must just have done that. Yeah, it'll be in the chat box. You're all very welcome to come along to that. It'll be a home retreat, so it'll be over Zoom, but there'll be this intensified sense of community and meditation and exploring consciousness. But there are many ways to give. And another way of talking about our activities, or an aspect of the economic aspects of our activities, we decided at the beginning of lockdown to run all our activities on what we call a dana economy. Dana meaning generosity, or rather all our Buddhism meditation on a dana economy. So yeah, we've taken that sort of radical decision. So that is another way that you could participate in this, if you would like. If you'd like to participate in this sort of aspect of meditation, which is community, then or you could participate through generosity. So if you'd like to give to this project, if you'd like to participate in that way, that's another way. So you can come on the retreat. That's a way of participating in this kind of culture of generosity. Giving a donation is another way you could do it. When the centre's open, another way is volunteering, but it's not open, of course, at the moment. So yeah, you can't do that. Anyway, just to give you those announcements and also invitation to participate in this culture of generosity. Now, I don't know if I'm handing back to Samudraghosha. I think it looks like I am. He's about to appear.
We haven't said, have we? But it is 8 of the clock. So either way, thank you for coming to meditation night. And I will see you, well, I'll see some of you on Saturday morning with the course, those of you who are doing the course, and you'll see me next Thursday night as well. So yeah, good night and have a good week.